Srimad Bhagavatam, first Canto, second chapter, verse number 32. This is recording of November 11, 1972 in Vṛndāvana.
Jatayu Sekastavinittu Naneva Bhati Vishwatma Bhutesu Jatatapama. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is residing along with the living entity within the heart. Ishara Sarvabhutana Viddeshe Arjuna Tishtati. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. The Ishara, the Supreme Personality, is residing in everyone's heart. In another place it is said, Khetra Khetrajna chapter. Khetram vanchati mam vidhi sarva khetri subhav. Khetrajna means the knower of the body. I, you, every one of us, we are individual living entities. We are also Khetrajna. I know this is my body, this is my finger, this is my hair, this is my leg. Ga. Ga means one who knows. So, I know, you know about your body, I know about my body. Therefore, we are all Khetrajnas. Khetrajna means one who knows about his field of activity. Everyone has been given, awarded a certain type of field of activity for sense enjoyment. We want a certain type of body, certain type of sense enjoyment, and Krishna gives us the facility through the agency of material need. Prakitekkilamana, gunai-karamani sarva. Actually you are dependent. I want something, Krishna gives us through the material agents. At the same time, he also accompanies as a friend. The footnote is there. Das aparna sajuja sakaya samanam briksham parisajyati tayot anya pipalam shadati anya anne vichakshati suddhimanta. So, both the living entity and the Supersoul is sitting on the same tree. This body is supposed to be the tree, and the heart is supposed to be the nest. And in the nest, as there are two birds, similarly, there is one bird, the living entity, individual, and the Supersoul, both. One is eating the fruit, the other is simply observing, witnessing. Anumanta upadrishta. Anumanta means giving order. Just like a child wants to take something, but he also depends on the order of the father. The child is insisting, Father, I want this. Father says, no, you don't get it. I shall touch it. I shall touch the fire. Father says, no, don't touch it. But he is insisting and crying. The father says, all right, you touch. Similarly, we create our own fortune and misfortune. Jītathamāṁ prapaddante tāṁ satīva bhajāna. So, the Father wants us to do something else, but we want to do something else against the wish of the Father. Similarly, Krishna wants that every one of us should surrender to Him and work according to His direction. But we want to do against His will. Therefore, we create our own fortune and misfortune. That is the way. So, there are different types of body and each one is acting in a different way. Different way means why they are working different way. He, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Paramatma, is the same in each and every body. Ishvara sarvabhutana vidyesotuna tishtati. Why one is acting different from the other? So one is acting different, that is the action of the individual soul. The super soul is there simply sanctioning, all right, we do like this. Because he is insisting and he is sanctioning, all right, we do like this. Therefore, naneva bhati vishwatma, Vishwatma, the super soul, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he appears to be acting differently. He is not acting differently. Just like the magistrate is giving different judgment. This man should be treated like this man should be treated. The magistrate is the same. But because the culprit is different, therefore he has got to give different judgment. Culprit is different. He is not different, he is one. This is the proof that Paramatma and Jivatma are two different personalities. They are not one. This is the proof. Why? Naneva bhati Vishwatma. He is Vishwatma, the super soul. Why one is acting as a hawk, one is acting as a dog, one is acting as a demigod, Indra, Chandra, Varun. Why these differences? We are all living entities, Jivadatta, and the Vishwatma, the super soul is the same in everyone's heart. Why they are acting different? This is the proof that there is individual soul, Jivatma and Paramatma. Paramatma is sentient. The same example. The magistrate or judge is giving different judgment because the criminals or the complainants, they are different. Naneva bhati vishwatma bhuteshu tathāpava. The example is given. Jatha hi avahita vanni darishu. In every wood there is fire. A small wood, there is small fire. In a big wood, there is big fire. The fire is the same, but according to the different size of the wood here, the flames of the fire appears to be different. The flames of the fire appears to be different because the living entity is different, of different types. They have got different desires according to the contact of the material quality. Karanam gunasanga asya sadasat janma jonishu. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Why they are different? Because karana, the cause is, karana means cause, is gunasanga asya, of this living entity. He is associating, contracting different qualities. There are three qualities, Satagun, Rajagun, Tamagun. And again, if you mix these three qualities, then 3 into 3 becomes 9. Then again mix it. The 9 into 9 becomes 81. Therefore, there are 8,400,000 species of life. Different qualities. Naneva bhati. And in every living entity, within the heart of every living entity, the Vishakma, the Supersoul is there. So he is not different. As like the Darushu and the pure food are different. And therefore, the flame appears to be different. Similarly, although Vishakma, the Supersoul, is one, because he is acting in the individual soul differently according to his different association, mentality, desires, every account is kept. Just imagine how many numberless there are living entities. Asankhya, jiva bhaga sabid gyam, so asankhara kalpate. There is no, you cannot enumerate. And each and every individual soul is doing according to his own desire. And every account is kept. Just imagine how expert accountant is required. Every account is kept. Because he has to be offered again another body taking account of his activities. Karuna Daivanetrina. He is acting. Innumerable living entities. So, how big brain is Krishna, you can just imagine. Not only one planet, there are innumerable planets, there are innumerable universes, everything innumerable. That is called unlimited. Everything innumerable. And still, some rascal claims that he is God. How much brain a God requires, he does not know. How big brain? Annayat itarateshu, itaratascha artheshu avijñāna. These are analyzed. What is the nature of the absolute truth? Athāta brahma jigyāsa. How is? What is? Immediately the answer is janmādhasya jatā. From him everything is emanating, everything is taking birth from him. Janma, not only janma, but existence, maintenance. Janmadi. Janmadi means birth, maintenance and death. Creation, maintenance and annihilation. Janmadi. Asya. Anything you take, asya. Janmadi jasya. Janmadasya jataha. From whom everything is emanating, everything is taking birth, this cosmic manifestation. it is being maintained in him. And again, when it is annihilated, it enters into his own energy. Prakriti mam gacchati. From his prakriti, from his energy, Krishna's energy, external energy, these 5 elements come out: earth, water, fire, air, the sky, 5 gross elements, and 3 subtle elements, mind, intelligence, ego. These are the 8 elements of material creation. Then all the living entities, those who wanted to enjoy this material world, they are impregnated within this material energy, and they come out with different bodies for enjoying different types of sufferings or happiness. There is no happiness, it is all suffering. But we take it is happiness. That is called illusion. So in this way, the whole creation is going on under the direction of Krishna. That is also stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Maya dhakshena prakriti shriyate sacharacharam. Under his supervision, just imagine how expert supervision is there, that the sun is rising exactly at the same moment as it is to be done. The waves of the sea are going on perpetually, but the waves cannot come beyond the limit. We have walked on the sea beach, so just 3 feet away, the big ocean, Pacific Ocean, is, but we are certain that this Pacific Ocean cannot come beyond this limit. We are certain. How we are certain? Because there is the order of Krishna. Maya dhakshena. Because I know, you know, that there is God's order. The Pacific Ocean may be very, very big, but still he cannot disobey the order of the Supreme. Maya dhakshena prakriti shriyate sacharacharam. This is understanding of Krishna. Krishna consciousness means you have to study everything, how things are going on. And this is stated. You have to simply think. Yes, you have to conform by your brain. If you have a dull brain, then how you can study? Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that Maya dhakshena prakriti shriyate sacharacharam. The prakriti, the material nature, is working under his direction. And you can verify how nature is working correctly, exactly, unless there is some systematic order, how everything is working systematically. As soon as there is spring, immediately thousands and millions of trees, immediately the foliage comes out. Immediately. And as soon as there is fall, September last, all the leaves fall down immediately. So this is the process of creation. Just like in Bible it is said, let there be creation, and there was creation. So, it is fact, actually. But we cannot understand how much powerful is Krishna or God. Simply by His will. Simply by His will, everything takes place. Millions and millions things come out immediately, and millions of things immediately annihilated. That is Krishna, that is God. Maya dhakshena prakriti shriyate sacharacharam. So, the Supersoul, Vishwatma, is one. But because we are different, therefore we are acting differently. The question may be raised that in Vishwakma, the Supersoul is one, why there are different activities? The different activities is due to our will, our selection. I want to act in this way. So he gives the facility. Just like somebody wants to drink, the government gives license for liquor shop. Now, it is not that everyone is drinking, but there is facility for the drunkards. Because the drunkards want to drink, so government gives facility, all right, here is a liquor shop to drink. But as soon as you commit some offense by drinking, you are arrested. So this arrest of the drunkard is a government's will, or the person created such situation to be arrested. So in this way, the whole world is going on. Samoham sarvabhuteshu namete shastina priya. Krishna says, I am equal to everyone. I'm not envious of anyone, or I am friendly to everyone. He's friendly, actually he's friendly. But people say, accuse him, why God has created this distress? Why I am suffering? You are suffering for your own fault. God created you to become happy. He is happy. You are part and parcel of Krishna. You should be happy. But you don't accept the way of happiness. That is your fault. You don't accept. Krishna says that you shall be happy in this way. Bhaktaram jagadam sam sarvaloka maheswaram sridam sarvabhutanam vyattam aham shantimicchati. Why you claim is it your property? Why you claim? Everything belongs to Krishna. So that is your part. So you must suffer. You are a thief. Steno saruchyate. Anyone who does not offer things to Krishna before using, he is a thief. That is prasada. That is Vaishnava Dhamma. The whole process is to accept the Supreme. So long we do not accept the Supreme, that is Maya. That is Maya. That is Maya. Nobody wants to accept the Supreme. Everyone wants to become Supreme. Even after performing severe austerities, penances, still they want to become one with the Supreme. This is also Maya. Therefore, Bhagavad says, Vimukta Manina. They are thinking that after undergoing such severe austerities and penances, now he has become God. And that is Maya, he does not know. He is not. But he claims that falsely. And this is the cause of his suffering. Nobody can become God or equal to God. That is not possible. The same quotation, Ekola Ishwar Krishna Arsa Vipra. Only the Supreme God, Supreme Person, Ishwar, Supreme Controller, is Krishna. Krishna is Bhagavan Sam. Why you are rascal trying to become Bhagavan, God? This is Maya, he does not know. He is thinking that I become God. This is Maya. Avisuddha Buddha. Avisuddha Buddha means his intelligence is not yet clean. It's still dirty, although he has undergone good austerities, penances, or taken sannyas, but the mind is dirty. Mind is dirty. So that will not help. The whole process is Cheta Darpana Marjana. We have to cleanse our heart. We have to understand our position. Then it will be successful. If if we don't cleanse our heart by regular chanting, Cetadappanamarjanam, Bhavamahadavagnipapanam, Sriyakairava Chandrikavidaranam, Vidyavadhujivanam, Anandamudivadhanam, Pratipadam, Purnamidaspadam, Sarvatma Sapanam Param Vijayati, Sri Krishna Sangita. So we have to understand our position. The dirty things should be removed completely, always by hearing Krishna Katha. That is the way of understanding. Only way. This Vṛndāvana is so important, valuable. Why? Because anywhere you go in Vṛndāvana, there is the opportunity of hearing Krishna Katha. This whole Vṛndāvana is simply cultivation of Krishna consciousness. Unfortunately, we take to other consciousness here, and therefore we become condemned. In Vṛndāvana, if we take other consciousness, then we become condemned. Condemned means he is still, the opportunity is there, condemned to accept a body other than human being, but he is helped because he is in Vṛndāvana. He is making progress, even as animals, as hogs and dogs. He is making progress because he is in Vṛndāvana. So Vṛndāvana is so important because here anyone can get the opportunity of Krishna consciousness. Therefore it is so important. Vṛndāvana Dham. Dham means where Krishna resides. That is called Dham. Vṛndāvana Dham. Aradha Bhagavan Vrijasitanayo Tad Dhamam. Dhamam means registered. Tad Dhamam Vṛndāvana. So Vṛndāvana is not polluted. Vṛndāvana is always helping us. Anyone who comes to Vṛndāvana, he is helped immediately, even though he is criminal number one. But if we remain in criminal mentality in Vṛndāvana, then we have to accept another birth to suffer. Then it will be all right. And then again he will be resurrected. Due to Vṛndāvana, the Vṛndāvana influence will have. But if we commit something against the Vṛndāvana principle, then we have to accept karmanata ivanyatrena. Karmani nityahati. It is said in the Shastra, the karma is reduced for the devotees. That much facility is there. Karma is reduced means in other place, if you commit some sinful activities, then you have to accept a body and then evolution will take place gradually. Then you again come to human form of body, then again, if you are intelligent enough, you can utilize. But in Vṛndāvana, the karmani nityahati. Suppose for your sinful criminal act you become hogs and dogs, next time you are ready. That is karmani nityahati. The karma, the cycle of physical activity is reduced, but you have to accept. You have to accept. But nityahati. But why should we waste our time accepting another body of dogs and hogs? That we should be very much careful. Although it is reduced, why should we accept in that reduced punishment? That's the problem. But we do not know. We call it ignorance. Therefore, Rupa Goswami has described sinful activities are done due to ignorance, ajnana. This just like a child touches the fire. Everyone knows if you touch fire it will burn. But the child, out of ignorance, touches. Therefore the child is under the protection of the parent, so that the child may not do something wrong and suffer. So naneva bhati vishnatma bhuteshu tatha. These varieties of living entity, it is due to the variety of desires of the living entity. Otherwise, Vishwatma is one. He is one. And the living entity is also one, because he is the manifestation of marginal potency of the Supreme. Therefore, as marginal potency, the living entity is one. Pandita Samadarshi. One who knows that the living entities are part and parcel of Krishna, and they belong to the marginal potency. Therefore, they do not see any difference out of the varieties of body. He sees only the spirit soul. Due to the varieties of body, the activities are different, although the director, the Supreme Soul, Supersoul, is the same one. This is the conclusion. Yatha manni avamito, jatahi avamito manni darusu, eka sadhanishu, naneva bhati vishwatma. So according to our body, we act differently. The direction and sanction is there by the Super Soul. This is the purport of the verse. Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
starts with this lecture. He's talking about the very first verse he quotes from Bhagavad Gita, where it says, Ishwar Sarvabhutanam Hrideshe Arjuna. So he's talking about when Krishna is saying that he's residing along with living entities in the heart of every living entity. So here Prabhupada is actually emphasizing on the point that there is a soul and there is super soul. It's both. Because, I mean, of course we are studying Bhagavad Gita, so we have that understanding, but generally outside, the very lowest level of understanding is there is no soul. It's just the body, and when the body dies, everything is finished. That's the very lowest level of understanding, and that creates a lot of chaos in the society when people think there is no soul, there is nothing is going to last after one dies, so anybody can do anything and everything, and you're not worried about it. But then some people have a better understanding in the sense that they think there is a soul, and of course that carries on in the journey and the next level. But there is not understanding of super soul. There is just understanding that there is a soul, and everybody is just can do whatever they would like to do because there is no authority. So so everybody considers themselves as their own authority. If just me, I can do whatever I want to do. It's a soul. And then there is also one understanding which we have seen, which could be very close to Mayavad philosophy. That is that the understanding is that everybody is Krishna. Everybody is super soul. There is super soul in everyone's hearts. Everybody is super soul. So in that way, everybody thinks that they are own authority. So there is no responsibility in the society. But then, and that way, when there is understanding that there is only super soul, nobody is taking responsibility of their own actions. But here, Prabhupada is clearly explaining by quoting Bhagavad Gita that there is soul and there is super soul, which means we are responsible for our actions, but also we have to follow the authority. So we take responsibility and we follow the authority. So it's not just that we act whimsically. So that's an important thing which Prabhupada is emphasizing here, that Krishna is there and Krishna is one. As at the end he says that the purport is Krishna is one. And then he of course explains how as a soul we know about our own self, but we don't know about others, so which is Kshetra here, and he explains. And then he quotes this verse from Bhagavad Gita about how Prakriti Kriyamanani Gune Karmani Sarvasya, how Krishna has given us the facility through this material nature, and we are not the doer, it's the material nature who's acting and the modes, and how we are dependent on Krishna and through the material agency. And then he quotes something called the Shruti mantra. He mentions about, again he gives that example of two birds on the same tree. I think he has quoted this before also many times, that how there are two birds on the same tree, living entity, soul and super soul. And soul has been given the free will to act according to the previous karmas and the desires. And the super soul is Anumanta and Udrashta. So super soul is giving the permission or giving the order, and also witnessing, which is witnessing the actions of the. So one is eating the fruit, and another is simply observing. So this Prabhupada has mentioned in Bhagavad Gita many times about these two birds, and that gives a very nice analogy to understand how we are dependent and how we also have the free will. We have to both. The situation is in our hands. So this is how Prabhupada explains, and then of course he gives the example of father, where his father allows the child to do it, but the child has to go through that experience of understanding what is right and what is wrong. So we are creating our own fortune and our own misfortune. That's a very important point. Prabhupada explains that we are responsible for our own actions, our own karma, and to the degree we surrender, to that degree Krishna reciprocates. So the point of surrender is important. Ye yatamam prabhadante, satya bhajamam. So how we surrender, and according to our work, Krishna will reciprocate. So Krishna, Prabhupada says, Krishna wants that every one of us surrender course, Prabhupada is giving example of the magistrate, how he gives the judgment, how he gives judgment to everybody. So magistrate is not different, magistrate is one, but criminals are different. So it's not that a magistrate is acting differently. He says culprit is different, but magistrate is not different. So when we see that maybe Krishna is being different to each one of us, it's not like that. It's Krishna is same, Krishna is one, but it is according to our own act, what we are doing. So then yes, Prabhupada is explaining about Jiva Tattva, Vishwatma, and then he gives example of a wood. Anybody remember that? He's talking about wood and fire. He mentioned something about that. When he was referring to the verse, Srimad Bhagavatam verse, he says the example is given, and he says about wood and fire. Mic, sorry, yeah. Do you have a mic here? Maybe I can repeat.
Prabhupada gives an example of the fire in the wood. And in some places he elaborates, he says, Vishnu is compared to fire. And fire is the thing that will help us. Other demigods are like fire in the wood, they can't really help us. And assist to some extent. But the fire is the thing that really helps us. We have to take care of Vishnu ultimately.
Thank you. Good point. You want to add something?
So in terms of the lecture, Prabhupada saying the wood may be different, so the flames look different, but it's the same fire, the flames are different according to the wood, the same flame. It's just present within all of us, so we're all different.
Absolutely. Thank you, Bhagavatam. That's what Prabhupada is saying, that he's saying Krishna is same, fire is same, but according to the size of the wood, the fire can be big or fire can be small. So it's just how we take to Krishna consciousness to that degree, it will be reciprocated. So Krishna is there in everyone's heart. Same Krishna is there. So, and then he of course talks about why is it like that. So he's talking about the modes of material nature. So he's talking about the three qualities, Sattva-gun, Raja-gun, and Tama-gun. But interestingly, he mentions that they are not just three actually. When you mix these three, they become 9, and then you mix it, it becomes 81. Okay, he says like it's not just straightforward. We can say I'm a mode of goodness, or I could be in that 81 varieties of modes of material nature. So many. It's quite eye-opener to that. And in these 8.4 billion species of life, there are 81 varieties, 81 types of modes of material nature, which Prabhupada explains. And then of course he's talking about karma, how account is kept, how individual account is kept with Krishna, and he says there are innumerable living entities, so everybody's account is there with Krishna. So it's mind-boggling that how big Krishna's brain is, how expert accountant Krishna is to have all that stock of accounts of the karma of everyone. So that's the magnanimity of Krishna, that's the unlimited nature of Krishna. And then he's explaining about Prakriti, talks about elements, 8 elements, 5 crores, 3 subtle elements, and then he talks about suffering and happiness. But then one thing he says there is no happiness or suffering, he says it's all suffering. So that's quite interesting. He says it's all suffering, but we take it as happiness, which is called as illusion. So he mentions that it is only suffering in the material. That's why Dukhalaya, Asashutam, that's what Bhagavatam says. So that was one point. And I think I'm conscious of the time. So there are many more points, but I don't want to go longer. Is there anyone else who would like to add? Because everybody can share something, or maybe I can then we can summarize
Krishna Prabhupada. As you said, material reward is the suffering. Does that mean that we are here to suffer, or is there more, like, apart from suffering?
I mean, the place is definitely Dukkhalaya, so the place is suffering. But we can make it a better place by improving our own journey. So whatever we have carried in the past, we can't change, but we can change our future through our present. So place is definitely, it's a place of suffering, it's a place of illusory energies under control of this place, like Krishna says, Maya Dakshina, so, but we don't have to be very negative about it. In one sense, that way we can become positive about our spiritual life. Like it motivates us to do more in Krishna consciousness. So, as long as we are in material consciousness, it is definitely suffering. As long as we are in touch with material things, it's suffering. But as long as we become spiritual, or we try to be on the path of spiritual path, it's eternal happiness. That is my understanding. But anyone going through?
Yes.
Anyone would like to add?
Like Prabhupada said that Krishna wants us to be happy. The point is that we don't accept the path of happiness. Prabhupada said in this lecture.
Correct. That's right. Yes. Krishna wants us to be happy, definitely. Now it's up to us how we want to take that path of happiness. So, but this place is definitely, it's a place of suffering. This material world. It's like a place where we get the punishment for our of our sinful activity. It's like a,
I don't want the exact word.
yes. That's one.
So in this way the whole world is going on. Samoham sarvabhuteshnu name dveshvasti napriya. Krishna says I am equal to everyone. I am not envious of everyone. Or anyone. I am friendly to everyone. He is friendly. Actually he is friendly. But people say, accuse him. Why God has created this distress? Why am I suffering? You are suffering for your own fault. God created you to become happy. He is happy. You are part and parcel of Krishna. You should be happy. But you don't accept the way of happiness. That is your fault. You don't accept. Krishna says that you shall be happy in this way. Bhaktaram yaketapsam sarvadok maheshwaram. So idam sarvabhutvanam gyatvam mam shantam yacheti. And then he goes on explaining that verse.
Anybody would like to carry on with?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that actually there's two types of protection and help in this world, Guru and Sastra. And if we take shelter of them, that's our protection. And do what they say and absorb ourselves in this Sastra, because that's our protection.